What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the Knights of Christ Training Academy, where we specialize in the Bible, helping men be men, trying to help whatever women we can help, and overall spiritual, mental, physical, and tactical growth daily. All right? So, I know some of you guys have probably seen this rifle. This is my 300 Blackout rifle. I'm gonna be going over just a couple things, not too much, so I'll try to make this video as fast as possible. But I need to kind of go over everything to where, you guys can actually learn something and just apply it to the range. Look, we're not shooting any ammo today. I'm just in the garage doing a basic reload drill, and that's it. So that's exactly what we're doing. I'm not getting crazy. I know there's a war going on and everybody's on YouTube talking about the war and, Israel's striking freaking Iran, whatever. Okay, fine. Who knows what it'll turn into, but I'm not gonna start yapping about it until I have to, right? So if there's a threat coming here, I might start talking about it, but you know what? Israel can handle their own business over there. I got nothing to do with it, and neither do you guys. Will it come here? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe the Iranian government has cells planted here. I guess we'll all find out, right? So anyways, okay. So your AR-15, right? This rifle right here is chambered in 300 Blackout. It's the same platform as an AR-15. So, it's the same thing, just a same bolt carrier group, same lower, different upper. The upper is chambered in 300 Blackout. And yes, this is a suppressor. So all you people in Cali, Connecticut, New York can't have one. How does it feel? Just kidding. I'm just breaking balls. So anyways, by the way, may the Lord bless you and keep you and be with you today, tomorrow. I pray that the Lord walks with you and is holding your hand, has his hand on your shoulder, and gives you everything you need in life. Just ask and you shall receive. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, one God, amen. Okay, so I'm not sure if a lot of you guys know this, but right here is your workspace, okay? As you can see, my stock is planted or placed in between my bicep and my rib cage, okay? When you're right here, you can see everything going on in front of you. And if you gotta look down real quick, you can look down real quick, okay? But this is where you wanna be for reloads. Now, I understand that if you're indoor, and you have to get behind something, or there's, possibly people upstairs and you got to reload doing CQB indoors, yeah, sure. You got to point the weapon down, or if you're in a tight space, you got to come down and reload here, and that's fine, okay? This is just for on the flat range, doing basic stuff, right? So, this is my workspace. I got everything right here, okay? This is where you want to be on the flat range, reloading your AR-15, okay? So, firearm is not loaded. We'll just check again. And yes, I have this stupid stock on here because it's not legal yet to have a regular stock on a 10.5-inch 300 Blackout. So you gotta have the stupid brace on here, but whatever, it is what it is. Okay, so as you're in your workspace, right here, okay, no mag. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna bring the bolt carrier to the rear position, okay? In the rear position means that this lever is facing up, or it's pushed out, and if you push it in, bolt carrier group goes forward. So you press this button here, bring back the charging handle, pull the charging handle back in. Now, as you can see, there is no bolt carrier group right there. And I usually just usually flip up the dust cover just because it's a habit, all right? I highly recommend doing that. In my last video, you saw me do that all the time. In fact, it was just part of the staging the rifle at the time as to what shooting condition my rifle was in, okay? So from here in your workspace, you want to grab a magazine out of your, whether you got them on your belt, you know, you just grab them on the belt, and or a chest rig like this, or you got your armor carrier. I prefer training with all. I hardly ever carry mags on the side. My Cryo Precision belt, I got 3 magazines in my pistol, and I got a tourniquet, a multi-tool. I don't really have room on my belt for a magazine, so I usually carry all my mags, my AR mags, right here, okay? Now, how I grab the magazine, okay, and I want to make sure that my bullets are facing this way, to my right side, okay? Because if they're not facing to my right side, it's going to be a crap show, okay? So from here, I can simply grab a magazine with a beer can grip, okay? And I know all the people on here are going to say, oh, you don't drink, why are you saying beer can grip? Give me a break. It's just grabbing a magazine, and this is the grip you have. So look, I'm coming down. I got the beer can grip already. That's a beer can grip. So here's the bottom, side, side. And you see how my pinky is right under, okay? So I'm gonna insert the magazine in my workspace, push, pull, okay? And then I'm gonna release the bolt, forward. Good to go. I'm gonna make sure that the bolt is all the way forward. You can either do it with your finger. If you're in the dark and you can't see, and you gotta check and see if your bolt is all the way forward, you can just tap it or feel it and see, but I always dust cover up every single time. It's just a habit, and I get used to doing it just because it's kind of tiring holding this rifle up. It's kind of a heavy rifle. I'm always doing that type of stuff just because, you know, if you're out in the desert shooting and you're doing under the vehicle or you're on your side, prone, you know, stuff like that, when you shoot, gas comes out and creates a dust cloud. So I prefer the less dirt inside, the better. So that's why I'm always going dust cover up, okay? So magazine is in, all right? So now I'm gonna come to the low ready. I'm gonna come here, bang, bang. Release the magazine. And look, I'm not doing any kind of action with the bolt while I'm just reloading, okay? So I release the magazine, workspace, beer can grip, bang, bang. Magazine released, it's that quick. Beer can grip, forward, okay? Inserted, sorry, not forward, okay? So that's stage 1, okay? So now what we'll do is we'll put the magazines back and make sure that the bullets are facing to the right if you're right-handed. Just insert them back in, make sure they're facing the right direction. Okay, now what we're gonna do is every time we load a magazine, we are going to mag release down, bring the charging handle back, release the mag release, charging handle forward, bolt is all the way to the rear, dust cover up, finger straighten off the trigger till you made a conscious decision to shoot, but we don't have any ammo. And when you're doing this, you guys, make sure there's no ammo in the room. None. We got dry mags, nothing in the chamber, nothing's going in the chamber while we are practicing, especially at home. Okay, safety first. If there's ammo in the room, get it out. It's not happening, okay? So we're gonna start from workspace with the bolt open, okay? So we're in our workspace, okay? Beer can grip. Insert the magazine, push, pull. Thumb up, release the bolt, on target. Bang, bang, bang. Okay? Workspace. Now you can either throw your mag out, or when you're here, bang, 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 you can flip it like this, like John Wick status. Workspace, beer can grip, insert, bang, bang, bang. Okay? And I forgot to pull the bolt forward. So we'll just do that again. Okay, so workspace, bolt to the rear, beer can grip, push, pull, bring the thumb up. And what's cool about this too is how you can do this is right like this. You can just grab here, okay? And then as you grab it out, your thumb is already in this position to where you put in the magazine, push, pull, and then your thumb's up here already, so why not just release the bolt? That's another way of doing this, okay? And then up on target, bang, 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 bang. Release the magazine, bolt to the rear, thumb up, bam, look at that, dude, look how slick that is, okay? Bang, 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 bang. Okay, so you can just get used to this. And the more mags you carry, honestly, the better. I'm only carrying 3 right now because that's all I had that weren't loaded. And I hate unloading magazines and then reloading them. So we're doing it like this. Okay, so workspace. Thumb is already there. Up on target, bang, 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 bang. Release the magazine, boom. Workspace. Charging handle back, dust cover up. Bang, bang, bang. Magazine release. And these are just simple reload drills. I understand that you're not going to be doing this all the time when you're reloading ammunition, okay? Like live ammunition in magazines. It's a hell of a lot different, okay? So this is just to get you used to, these are basic fundamentals, okay? This is nothing advanced. This is nothing, you know, this is all beginner stuff, okay? If you want to start out just doing bolt forward, dust cover up on target, workspace, bang, 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 and then just reload another mag, bang, bang, bang. You can do that all day if you want, okay? But I prefer to engage my hands in the bolt carrier group, coming to the rear, locking it to the rear. Becoming familiar with your rifle is critical in my opinion. So the more you work with this thing, you know, doing stuff like this, dust cover up, you're creating some habits. Now look, I understand on a flat range, yes, I'm in my flip-flops. On the flat range, you got live ammunition, you know, you're going bang, 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 bang. You're out, you release the magazine, you take a magazine, you put it in, you release the bolt, you back up on target, bang, 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 bang. Okay? You're not doing that at home, so you don't necessarily have to go through the same motions as you normally would on the flat range if you're just practicing mag load, switching mags in your garage, okay? We'll go over tack reloads next time. This is just an intro, basic, easy thing to do, and make sure there's no ammo in the room, okay? And if you're going to do this, listen, it's always safety first. Okay, if you're going to do it in front of your gun safe, okay? Because if there were an accident, which there won't, I trust all of you are very, very smart. There's not going to be an accident because there's not going to be any ammo in the room. Do it towards your gun safe or a safe wall that a piece of lead is not going to shoot through, okay? So taking extra precautions with firearms in the home is a good idea. So if the safe is right in front of me, I'm good to go, man. I can just sit here, workspace, magazine, push, pull, up on target, bang, bang, bang. And you know what? You can still load the thing and just practice bringing your thumb up. And even though you're not going to knock the bolt forward, it's already in the forward position, you're still getting that memory, that mechanics. So you're here, bang, 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 you know, and you pretend the bolt is to the rear, you're out of ammo, release the magazine, push, pull, boom, bang, 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 bang. Push, pull, bang, bang, bang. Pick up your magazines and keep going. This is, in my opinion, I know this is basic, but this has worked for me for years, okay? I employ both. I grab my magazine like this, if I can, okay? Depending on how my rifle is, like if I have a jam, I'll clear the jam, and if my bolt is all the way forward, I'm not gonna grab a magazine like this, I'm gonna use a beer can grip, okay? Because I don't have to instantly come up and release the bolt with this thumb. You get what I'm saying? If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. I don't need this, so I'm gonna beer can grip it, and with a beer can grip, you can put it in, push, pull a hell of a lot easier than you can with it just gripping the sides of the magazine. If you've got real strong hands like you jiu-jitsu guys, no problem. But your average Joe can't hold it super tight like that. If you do pull-ups, you can hold it super tight, push, pull, but it's a hell of a lot easier if you push, pull with a beer can grip. Way easier. Push, pull. Don't slap the mag in. I see guys doing it, and a lot of the times, honestly, it doesn't volcano the round up. It doesn't. If you've got weaker feed lips, like some of these mags I've used for years, some of them, the feed lips are kind of wearing down on them, you can volcano those rounds out like this. Watch. They volcano out. So when you tap this thing, dude, the rounds fly right out of it. So you don't want rounds coming out of your magazine inside of your rifle. Bad idea. Okay? So the beer can grip is employed for push, pull. Push, pull. You're catching the mag catch when you feel it click or hear it click. And look, on the range, when other guys are shooting and you gotta reload, you're not gonna hear the click. And if you do, you're lucky. So you gotta feel and listen, okay? If you're in tune with your rifle and you're shooting, bang, 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 you can feel that bolt locked to the rear, okay? When you feel it locked to the rear, you know for sure that you're out of ammo. So you release the magazine, boom, boom, back on target, all right? It's as simple as that, man. Look, this is just beginner stuff. This is not John Wick. This is not, you know, a lot of the guys on YouTube who, you know, or whatever. You guys get what I'm saying. So super straightforward, really, really simple. So just go through the motions, okay? If you got one mag, use one mag, okay? You bring it to your workspace. And the workspace is in between your arm and your rib cage. That's where your workspace is. Now you want to be here and try to, when you're looking and you got to reload and you're out in the open, you can see everything going on. You know where your magazine is. So just pop it out, put it in. And sometimes you got to look. That's okay. It's okay if you look. You're not John Wick, right? So if you got to look, you got to look. It's not a big deal. But at least your rifle is up here and not like out here covering your whole space, because you want 180 degrees, okay? And it's good to always look back. In my last video I did on the range, it's good to check your 6 and just check, man. So if you're scanning, check your 6. If you're running solo, you got a big job, man. There's a lot of checking around, looking around, all right? So, where's my magazines? So we'll go over it one more time, okay? This time I'm gonna lock the bolt to the rear. Workspace, finger straighten off the trigger. And you're not making a conscious decision to shoot, you're not shooting at all, okay? So your finger shouldn't even honestly be on the trigger, okay? It should be off the trigger the whole time during this, okay? When you get back on the flat range, feel free to light them off, okay? And remember, I said in the last video, always make your shots. Even the advanced guys in this game, a lot of them take their time to make their shots when they're warming up. You know, so they come up on target, bang, 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 bang. They're making their shots first and they're warming up, okay? Don't waste the ammo. You can do a lot with 50 rounds of 5.56 or 223 and 50 rounds of 9mm. You can make 2 hours out of 100 rounds if you take your time and make your shots and think. Understand? Good. Okay, so we're gonna lock the bolt to the rear. Dust cover up. Finger straighten off the trigger. Okay, I'm in my workspace. I'm looking. Beer can grip. Push, pull. Release the mag, or release the bolt. Bang, bang, bang. Release the mag. Beer can grip. Push, pull. Bam, bang, bang, bang. Okay, and that's that. Welcome to the Knights of Christ Training Academy, ladies and gentlemen, where we don't mess around. Now I'm gonna put my live ammunition back in my rifle. Dust cover up, safety on. Ready to rock and roll? Okay, so I know there's a war going on. I get it. I'm gonna say this one last thing. The Lord controls everything, okay? He is in charge of everything. So are we surprised we got what's happening this weekend? Are we surprised that Israel is hammering Iran close to the weekend? Are we surprised that Russia is hammering Ukraine? I'm not pro-war. I'm against all war. Okay, I want to make that really clear to the YouTube freaks. I'm not pro-war. I don't want to see it. I want to live in peace. And so do the rest of you guys. You just want to live in peace. Okay? These dudes this weekend are even going to be more pissed off. And they're also getting more enabled to do bad things because now the National Guard has been called out of California. A liberal judge decided to side with Gavin Newsom, that demonic freak creature running around, thinks he's some kind of powerful demon when he doesn't understand that Jesus Christ runs every single thing on the planet. He doesn't understand that. He'll never understand it probably. All you can do is pray for that clown and pray that he comes to Christ. Because I'll tell you what, man, Christ put me here right now for you guys. and for his glory in order for me to spread the word of the Lord. And look, I'm sure I'm going to see in the comments one guy who's going to be like, oh, this guy's preaching, you know, he's got an AR-15 and he's preaching about Jesus Christ. You know what? I am. Jesus never said don't defend yourself. These are put here for us in our personal liberty. The Second Amendment was designed to keep them as far away from us as possible. So if you got a problem, don't watch the video. But if you like it, share, subscribe, and get after it. Because that's what we do here, man. I got more content coming. I got plenty more coming. I got some really cool ideas because of all you guys. And I'm ready to get after it. We're going running tomorrow. I'm going to be getting my push-ups, my pull-ups, and all that stuff in the morning. And then I'm going on another 14-mile run. I hammered out 14.7 today. 14.7 miles. Actually, 14.78. It all matters, okay? And that's to help encourage you guys to get out of the house and go get after it. Look, June 17th, I'm gonna be 48 years old. And I'm still out hammering trails. I don't care how old I am. I'm still gonna be grinding. I'm still gonna be working. And that's the way I'm choosing to live my life. And may the Lord bless me for all these days we got coming up, man. I am truly excited to see the Lord's plan come to fruition. I am not bummed. I am excited. What a time to be alive. You, me, and everyone else. It is time. We were born for this moment, dude. And the only way you can be on top of your game, last thing, is to eat healthy, stay in the good word, exercise every single day. There is no time, even if we were in peace, you want to prepare for war. Warriors rise, dude. That's what we do here, man. We're Christian warriors and we crush it. Man, I'm pissed off for greatness. I'm pissed off for greatness. Eat healthy. Ditch the crap food. Ditch the alcohol. There is no more time with that. The last thing you dudes want is to be blindsided when you're drunk or hungover by somebody breaking in your house, massive terrorist attack, something crazy happens. You can't do nothing because you're paralyzed. What a crappy way to go out, man. Not us. Christian warriors always rise to the occasion, man. This is not an easy lifestyle. You think being a Christian is super easy? It is one of the most difficult things I have ever done in my life. And I've done a lot of difficult things, you know, and a lot of my friends have seen me grow to the man that I'm in today. It was because of them, their help, their guidance, and the Lord. He put them in my life and blessed me with so many things. It's honestly just, I feel so blessed to be alive. You know, great woman in my life, good family, good, wonderful, absolutely wonderful friends. Wonderful friends. They got my back and I got theirs. Call me at 3 in the morning. I'm on my way. Love you guys. I'm out of here. Warriors rise, baby. Let's get after it. You guys have any questions, leave it in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe to this video. I usually don't ask that a lot. I don't, but just try to spread it, man. I love you guys. I'm out of here. Later.